Hey there. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be joining you for today's topic. This is such a big topic in our community. So I am just so excited to be talking about this because, I don't think enough people are talking about it. So let me get all of this pulled up here. Yay. Let me know you are here. Amy, how's it going? Where are you all joining from? I know where you're joining from, most likely, but for those of you watching, if you catch the replay, hit hashtag replay. I'd love to know. And let us know where you're joining from today. We've got so many amazing new epic people in this community. This is some good juicy stuff today. But when is it not? And then we had such a break. I had like a month between going live the last time and then Monday, and now it's twice in 1 week. What is really going on? Okay, get the notes up and we will get rocking and rolling. So like I said, I'm so pumped, right, to talk about this fixer rescuer energy and how to shift from fixer to just flow, right? Or from fixer to inFLOWential leader in your business, in your life, because, we talk all things. So we are live here in the community. For those of you joining on YouTube, be sure to click that like button and hit subscribe. And of course, for those of you who are in the community and haven't been over to my YouTube channel yet, please head on over there and subscribe. I will put the link in the comments. So like I said, I have seen this energy coming up a lot in the community, both with all of my clients. I'm seeing this right now. I'm sure some of it is energetic. We've got the solstice, right? Yeah, the winter solstice happening on Monday. So there's some energy shifts there. We've got the holidays just in general. There's lots of emotion and energy shifts there. We're wrapping up the year. There's some emotions and energy shifts there. So there's a lot with people not feeling supported and not trusting and kind of needing to be, again, sort of flipping back into some old habits around control issues. And what's interesting is how much that looks like this fixer rescuer energy. Oh yeah. Hey, Dory. So good to see you. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Amy. Yep. Gulfport, Mississippi. I love it. So yeah, I really felt called to talk about this topic because, if you've been in my world for a while, I really share some interesting insights into root causes because I'm all about get to the root so we can make some powerful, lasting changes. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself because I know we have so many amazing new people in this epic community. I'm Stacy Rasky, best-selling author, speaker, Iraq War veteran, badass biker chick, international leadership mentor, and soulful success coach. So I have really loved that visionary founders and CEOs hire me to become revolutionary leaders, who create a legacy of impact while enjoying the ride, because it really is about who we are being in order to be that leader that our business, our brand, our message, our mission need us to be. So I lovingly say I help alphas shift from intimidating to influential leaders, right? So my story with fixer rescuer energy, actually before that, if you self-identify, if you know you have fixer rescuer energy, just give me some hearts, give me some likes, pop in the comments like, yep, huge fixer, huge rescuer, all of that stuff. Some of you may already know. And then as we go through today, some of you might be like, wow, I never thought about myself as being a fixer, but damn, Stacy, you just described me to a T, right? And so some of you already saw that in kind of my preview post where I was talking about some of those symptoms. And I know a lot of people don't consider themselves a rescuer, but they're like, yeah, I'm super results focused. Like let's get some shit done. Let's make some things happen, right? And actually, that is part of that same energy. It's really, really interesting. So, oh yeah, Janaki, yeah, I used to be nice, all of the above, Dory. That's so funny. So yeah, actually, that is a lot of it. And so if we've had that rescuer energy in the past, it's really interesting how subtle it can be and sneak up in our business. So we will bridge that gap today as well. So for me, I grew up with a lot of trauma, right? I grew up with a lot of instability. Some of you know my story, but if you don't, my parents divorced very early. My dad's a narcissist and was very abusive in different ways to myself and my half siblings, my stepmother, things like that. So there in that environment was a lot of rescuer energy to protect my siblings. Was a lot of rescuer energy to help, my stepmother after, seeing the abuse happen and things like that. Where then at my mom's house, it was just, for the most part, it was just my mom and I. And it was really interesting, the dynamics there, where it wasn't just being a kid. It was sort of me taking on a role more in the household where, sometimes I was hanging out with her as her friend. And we're doing other things. And of course, kids, we have this really great way of taking on responsibility for things. And so for me, I took on the responsibility for always cheering her up and just like how she was doing emotionally, because she didn't have a lot of people. And so a lot of that pressure, consciously or subconsciously, whether it was from her or family or whatever, putting that on me, or whether it was just me or all of the above, right? There was a lot of this learning to fix, learning to rescue, learning to take action, take control to change the situation. Now, later on in life, that shows up all the time in my relationships, because guess what? I was chronically attracted to the project guy. I know men who always have the project woman too. So, right, we're rescuing the wounded birds. And even in our friendships, like sometimes I would attract those friendships where it was like, wow, the really, really needy person. And then later, fast forward, right, that showed up in my business. Early on, especially a lot of undercharging, because I was in coaching. Any of you who are in these, healing, coaching, mentorship, any of those different types of services that can help people. I mean, I even seen it in some of the done for you services for entrepreneurs. People are like, yeah, I remember when I was struggling in the early days. And so they're helping, like, let me help that person. And so we end up undercharging or over giving, over serving, because we kind of like feel bad for them. Like, I know where they're at. I know how they feel, they're struggling. So thinking that I can help more people that way. Right. And it was really a lot of rescuing those who I thought, could see really needed my help, but maybe they couldn't afford it. But it ends up being like, they're not doing the work, right? We end up doing the work for them, and it turns into the PETA clients and stuff like that. It's not serving anyone, right? We're not getting anything as much out of it. It's a drain, and they're not getting anything out of it. But I got myself into that situation all the time. So please pop in the comments if you've done any of those things. If you're like, yep, I had that rescuer as a kid, I've done the relationships, doing the fixers, the rescuers in the relationships. If you've done any of those things in the business too, right? Like any of the undercharging, over giving, over serving. Oh, those can just be such a drain. Such a drain, right? Like, oh yeah, so true, so true. Yep. Getting lots of yeses here. So you're at a place in your, not just in your business, but in this vision that you have for the impact that you want to make in the world, right? A lot of us who have this natural, this alpha energy, this leadership energy, to shine brightly and really be a revolutionary, right? We know we have this big purpose. We're called to be a change agent, a paradigm shifter, a trailblazer, right? And it's a problem solver. And in that energy of creating change, that change is often a result. Like we want to see this new result. So we become very results focused. And all of that is fueled by this deeper fixer rescuer energy. It's really interesting. And so for those of you who saw my inner rebel training, right, about this very similar energy too, this trailblazer, paradigm shifter, inner rebel aspect, because a lot of that inner rebel goes back to this childhood stuff that we had too, right? It's all this deep inner child, inner rebel. It's like we have this root stuff and it shows up and it ends up driving the business train, driving our leadership. And so that energy, kind of as I mentioned, can cause some challenges and really slow your success. Because again, if you're doing too much, if you're working way too hard in your business or for others, and I mean, even I see it all the time, people have this amazing team, they can delegate, they can lead, but they're not really letting go, right? They're doing too much. Again, the overgiving, the overserving, the undercharging, because, right, again, this beautiful divine alpha energy, we have high empathy and high sensation seeking, right? So we're very sensitive and then we're like always doing. So the empathy means most of the time we can see the best in others when they can't. Right? That is the magic of that rescuer energy. Like, I can see the best in you, but you can't see it yet. So we take responsibility for helping them see it. Raise your hand if you have ever been in that situation. Right? So, it's helping more people and like helping those who we feel like can't quite help themselves. Right? And think about it. That's a lot of these trailblazers, these paradigm shifters. They're standing up to be the voice for those who don't have a voice. Very powerful. But sometimes that rescuer energy can cause trouble. So that's what we're going to talk about. And the biggest issues with that rescuer fixer energy is actually trust issues. Like, we do not trust our team. We don't trust our spouse. We don't trust our community, even our coaches and the people that we hire to support us. We don't trust that we're supported because fixer rescuer is a part of those control issues. It's part of that wall that blocks the beautiful, amazing, authentic, vulnerable, real you from getting out and doesn't let the good stuff in, because the wall's built to block the bad stuff, right? So we've got those control issues. And keep in mind too, a lot of that results-focused momentum that we have, that results-focused drive, is framed within the beautiful gift wrap of expectations. the beautiful control issue we have of expectations, where it's trying to control other people or outcomes in our head. Like, raise your hand if you're still working on releasing expectations. So yeah, I struggle to see that for myself. Yes, Amy. Yes. Oh, let's see here. Oh, yes. Yep. You and I were separated at birth. Right? The joys of childhood trauma. So here's the thing. I'm going to drop some truth bombs, juicy truth bombs, as I always do. So what you're really trying to fix here, fix and rescue, is not the situation, is not someone else. It's not any of those things. So we think about that fixer rescuer energy being very outward focused, which it is, right? Because we're trying to control things outside of ourselves. But the root is that it's actually not about the others. It's not about the results. That energy is actually being driven by our deep need to fix our own discomfort. It's actually an addiction. We are driven with this addiction to avoiding discomfort. Because again, if we come from trauma, like, there's a lot of that fixer rescuer energy is about keeping things as even keel as possible, right? Because if we don't know what's going to happen, again, this is a trauma response. Keep things even keel. But it really is. It is fixing our own discomfort. So if we feel discomfort in a situation, whether it's, I just need it done now, so we go do it now because we have this need. The discomfort is it's not done. Right? So, again, give me some likes. And as I go through these, if you're like, oh, sister, you are talking about me. So it's the helping someone because we see they are in some type of pain or discomfort, right? Like we see that, we feel that. Hello, high empathy. We are easing our own discomfort. It's actually a very selfish drive that it comes from. And there's no judgment here. It's just understanding that it's our own need that drives this fix or this rescue. And so by the end of today, understanding how to not only empower yourself to say, ooh, not my job, and I can be okay with feeling this dis-ease, discomfort within me, but also understanding how I can empower others rather than us going in and fixing the situation, rescuing them, whatever it is, where we're enabling them to actually stay stuck, stay in victim energy. Because anybody that needs to be rescued is in victim energy, right? So we are just in this addiction to avoiding our own discomfort. And this is a big one. And the reason I'm also leading this conversation today is because I had that beautiful realization a couple of months ago, like, wow, I didn't realize how much of my choices throughout the day were really fueled by avoiding this subtle discomfort. We talk about entrepreneurship all the time is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And yet at the same time, we're doing everything under the sun, hello, sabotage, to avoid discomfort. Right? Our sabotage is actually about avoiding discomfort. So when it comes to some of that fixer, rescuer energy in other people as well, keep in mind what you're rescuing, what you're fixing is the part of yourself that you are seeing reflected back in them. Because everything we see in others, positive, negative, wounds, strengths and amazing qualities, all that stuff is mirror reflections of what we have going on internally. So if we feel that call to ease someone else, to rescue, to fix them, it's something that we see that same wound in ourselves. And that's really what we're fixing through them. Because we didn't have someone to do that for us, right? That's the deep healing root there. And so this is why this is part of this trauma response. So being a fixer rescuer, it's a control issue. You're taking control of a situation to create a result. And being results focused is a control issue. And again, the control issues are that wall, the wall of protection, the wall that blocks the real us from getting out. Again, it's that disempowered masculine energy trying to keep us safe. Because as kids, we didn't have boundaries. We didn't have external safety. So we need to create internal safety. We don't know how to do it. So the walls go up, right? The walls go up. Let me turn off the emotion or just move it over here temporarily so I can be in my masculine energy, in my strength and my power, because it's what we know, what we think we do, and to create the safety, but it ends up being control issues. And so that trauma response comes out of that feeling unsafe as a child. So we need to feel in control of something. And so again, we end up placing a lot of undue burden on ourselves as children. So if we had to rescue or fix a parent, so for those of us who grew up in alcoholic households, such as myself, those of us who grew up with, again, abuse, alcoholism, drug addiction, moving a lot, instability, whatever. And keep in mind, it's not always that big stuff. Like we can have a trauma response from very small, insignificant things as children. So sometimes it can be a little harder to identify. Like for myself, it's easy to finger point to the big stuff. What's been part of this larger healing journey is seeing all the subtle things. Right? That's that next layer of healing for everyone is finding the really subtle stuff that contributed to what is driving the programming today. Same thing, siblings, things like that. So like if you had to be the parent as a kid, of your siblings and stuff, right? Again, rescuer, fixer energy. So the key, as I mentioned, about being more in this empowered energy than this disempowered energy. Because again, when we go into fixer or rescuer, we're actually feeling disempowered. We need to be in control. So we go into that control issue. So the more you're working on this relationship with you to feel empowered in your energy, empowered in your masculine and your feminine, healing and empowering your masculine so you feel safe internally instead of needing to be in control, empowered in your feminine so you're trusting and have that strength for leadership instead of enabling the situation, enabling yourself, or enabling others. So, we got some comments coming in. Yes, yes, yes. Hell yes. Just said that. Nice. Yeah. What we see in others is really within ourselves to raise. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Both the positive and the negative, right? Oh yeah. Coaching mirrors. That's the beauty of being a mentor and a coach, of course, is because you see the mirror in your clients, you see the mirror in your mentors. It's so, so, so amazing, right? Yeah, witnessing the fighting, all the different traumas that we experience growing up, it imprints on these habit loops, these patterns, these cycles that we do. So being more in the flow is really focusing on letting go of control. The results are not your job. Like this is the big shift to be more influential and inFLOWential in your leadership is really getting to that place of letting go of control. For those of you who've been watching my videos for a while, we're always talking about that, right? We're breaking down that wall. The biggest symptom of the wall is the control issues. And you're able to break down the wall and let go of control by empowering your masculine to create internal safety. So letting go of the control, understanding the results are not your job, right? When we're focused on results, AKA expectations, more control issues, right? It's not your job to fix or rescue. Your job is who you are being and how you are showing up. That's it. It doesn't matter, right? Like if I come into this Facebook Live and say, okay, here's the result that I want, that actually interferes with showing up in the best and just being of service, just connecting to you, sharing the information that needs to be shared. If I go into it with an expectation and then it keeps that not enough scarcity cycle playing out, because guess what? What if I don't get that exact result? Oh, this video is an epic failure. Rather than focusing on the powerful breakthroughs you may be experiencing right now, or just reminders that you may be experiencing right now, right? Like it's not about that result. It's just about how am I showing up? Who am I being? And your job is to lead. It doesn't matter what the situation is. This is being in that empowerment instead of enabling, where you are leading, being the leader. You heal your stuff, you show up better, you lead by example and embody more of your divine feminine, all of you embodying more of your divine feminine to balance your energy, right? To balance out the masculine and helps you be in that inFLOWential leadership, because inFLOWential is balanced energy as a leader. So that feminine energy fuels the trust, the support, the strength of your leadership, and helps you to elevate others with the attraction energy of the feminine, right? So you're holding strong in you being you, right? As that leader, as that guide, and that actually attracts others to elevate. It elevates them by pulling them upwards instead of you going down as a rescuer and pushing them up. Very different energy. Leading by example. And that feminine energy also allows you to be more vulnerable, and that have that vulnerability with yourself so you can heal those wounds, process through the trauma, learn the lessons, and empower others with your wisdom, right? That is a true leader. That is a true influential leader. And what's amazing as that influential leader is you get to be more in your power, your purpose, your pleasure, play, and of course, prosperity. Like, it's fun. That's the enjoying the ride. Because you're leading, you're guiding, not saving or fixing. Big difference. Such a big difference. All right, let's see here. So we'll get into the comments here in a second. So now keep in mind, January 11th. So I invite you, if these are things you are ready to up level, massively up level, January 11th, I'm hosting my How to Unlock Influential Leadership, Power, Pleasure, and Impact in my pop-up group. So January 11th, we kick off. It'll be January 11th through 18th. We'll have that workshop running, but I'm opening up the community right now so people can actually start requesting to join early. It'll be not a ton will be happening just yet, but I'm capping it at 100 people. Like, there's a limit. So if you want to get in on this, I'm offering this to you in my community first, access to join the workshop early before it starts going mainstream public here very soon. So I will put that link in the comments, but this is it right here, right? The little bit.ly, the influential. So you have it. All right, so let's see here. Let me get all these. The comments always show up way better on my phone, right? So let's see here. Oh, I found my control is allowing me to receive support. Yes, nice. Each time I find the dance with resistance first. Yep, receive the full support. Control side of me letting go. Oh, nice. Yes, so good, so good. Oh, I was in agreement with enabling support. Yeah, so that's what I attracted in my life. Oh, yep. First client in the yoga class and discovered why I didn't enjoy receiving the self-sabotage. I did receive, because the support I did receive was enabling. I gotcha. Yeah, right. We go through those cycles and it mirrors so much. Let's see here. I have an acronym for play. Powerful love aligns you. Oh, I love that. Love that. So good. Yes. Oh, okay, Amy. Yeah, just hit that link, the bit.ly at bit.ly/influential. That is, just click that. You'll go over to the other pop-up group and just request to join that Facebook group. And like I said, we officially kick off in January 11th. A lot of momentum will begin building there really after New Year's. So just as a heads up, it's like, oh, okay, it gives you an opportunity to get in, kind of get familiar, just be in there. But, it's all good. So assistant, if you can pop that link in the comments, that would be lovely. So that way we have it. So yeah. Absolutely. It's such a great workshop. It's just 3 really, really powerful trainings, really amazing breakthroughs happen in that workshop. And then, it's just really phenomenal. I did it, I did it once in October. It was just amazing. And I've already revamped and refreshed the content, the material. It's so, so, so good. So I would love to know any questions from what we chatted about today. I kept it really tight and to the point just to honor time and have it be right in that 30-minute window of really, really good, juicy stuff. And if you do have additional questions, feel free to pop them in the comments. Hop over. Like I said, it's co-ed, right? So I know we've already been bringing some amazing epic men into this community. I just want it to be like, look, this is about raising the leadership, the impact, the legacies of the world. All of us who are paradigm shifters, change makers, trailblazers, with that strong inner rebel who are called to really have a major vision, voice, impact in the world, that legacy of change, which is so important. So important. Thank you. Thank you for popping the link in there. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll get to the questions. If you have any more, I'll be sure to come back and check in the comments later. And yeah, I would look forward to seeing you over in that workshop after the first of the year. But like I said, you can start requesting to join now. And yeah, enjoy your day. If I don't see you before next week for any reason, have an epic, epic Christmas, if that's what you're celebrating. For those of you who are celebrating Hanukkah right now, happy Hanukkah. And of course, have an amazing, amazing and safe new year. And I will see you again very soon. And remember, as always, you are enough. Bye. And you are so welcome.